Under the scorching sun, the savanna forgives no mistakes. When shadows disappear, survival relies on pure primal instinct. The blinding daylight exposes every vulnerability across this arid plain. A single moment of hesitation can end a lifetime. Hidden dangers do not wait for the cool night air. The true test of existence begins under the noon sky. Nature demands an absolute price for every drop of water. Beneath the blazing heat, a silent masterpiece of design unfolds. Across the barren plains, the apex hunter walks completely alone. A magnificent female tiger navigates the harsh, sun-drenched environment. Her presence here defies the dry, unforgiving climate of today. She must adapt her hunting strategy to the blinding light. The lack of cover makes every single move extremely risky. In the burning tall grass, her massive shadow freezes completely. A solitary predator relies on the art of perfect camouflage. Her striped coat blends seamlessly into the dried, brittle stalks. Every muscle is locked, waiting for the perfect tactical moment. The extreme heat waves distort the horizon ahead of her. A small herd of deer gathers near a receding waterhole. They are desperate for hydration, yet highly alert to danger. Her target stands vulnerable near the drying, muddy edge. Distance is the enemy, and time is running out fast. The rising temperature evaporates her scent into the dry air. This environmental factor gives her a slight, hidden tactical advantage. One careless step could still alert the prey to danger. The rustling grass hides the subtle advance of her body. Her amber eyes lock onto the target with absolute focus. The unbearable midday sun tests the limits of her endurance. In this wasteland, patience is the ultimate weapon of survival. She creeps forward, centimeter by centimeter, through the dust. The space between predator and prey slowly begins to close. Suddenly, a sentinel deer lifts its head in absolute panic. It senses an invisible threat lurking in the quiet landscape. An unfamiliar sound echoes faintly from a distant acacia tree. The great cat freezes instantly in an unstable, awkward posture. She must remain perfectly still under the punishing solar rays. Her muscles burn with exhaustion from holding the rigid stance. Minutes stretch like agonizing hours in the shimmering heat waves. Sweat beads on her fur, but her resolve never wavers. The heat is oppressive, but her primal hunger is stronger. The deer scans the horizon, looking for any unusual movement. The absolute stillness of the tiger protects her from detection. Satisfied, the prey relaxes slightly and lowers its head back. The critical window of opportunity opens for a brief moment. Her hind legs coil like heavy, highly pressurized steel springs. She channels all her remaining energy into her massive hind quarters. The final distance between life and death begins to shrink. A sudden explosion of dust shatters the heavy midday silence. She launches her massive body forward with terrifying raw power. The ground trembles beneath the weight of her sudden acceleration. She becomes a blur of orange and black across the plains. The panicked prey scrambles wildly across the slippery mud bank. Fear drives the deer to leap frantically into the air. Only a few frantic heartbeats will decide this brutal outcome. The tiger closes the remaining gap with an incredible bound. Her outstretched claws reach through the thick cloud of dust. Her powerful jaws lock onto the throat, ending the fight. Absolute dominance is achieved through unmatched precision and calculated timing. The rest of the herd flees into the distance. Dust slowly settles around the victorious queen of the plains. The design of creation ensures that the strongest must eat. The price of life is paid in full this afternoon. She drags her heavy prize toward a rare, shady patch. The master of camouflage secures her survival for another day. In this harsh environment, every meal is a grand triumph. The supreme predator rests, having conquered the relentless daylight heat. But as this master hunter enjoys her well-earned peace, another fierce spirit prepares to challenge the brutal open wilderness.
Out in the open flats, the sun leaves nowhere to hide. A massive titan moves across the baking, dusty ground slowly. The white rhinoceros thrives where others look for shaded shelter. Its colossal body is built to withstand the harshest elements. This peaceful giant possesses an unmatched shield of pure resilience. It searches for scarce desert vegetation. Its heavy steps press firmly into the sun-baked, hardened earth. But on these open plains, vulnerability quickly attracts dangerous attention. A pride of hungry lions watches from the distant ridge. The apex predators step out into the blazing midday heat. They outnumber the solitary mammal, but lack his immense size. Any ordinary prey would flee immediately from this looming threat. Yet, the armoured giant relies on his raw defensive instinct. He senses the approaching danger and turns his head slowly. Instead of running, the massive creature stands his ground firmly. He raises his heavy head and displays a formidable horn. A low, deep snort echoes across the quiet, hot savanna. The lionesses hesitate for a second, surprised by his stance, but driven by desperation, the pride moves closer together now. The stark contrast in tactics makes the outcome highly uncertain. Creation has armed this great herbivore with incredible, thick skin. This natural armour prepares him for the upcoming coordinated clash. The lead lioness suddenly lunges forward with a swift strike. Sharp claws try to grip the rhino's tough, leathery shoulder. Powerful jaws attempt to find a weakness in the hide. In a normal hunt, teamwork would overwhelm the chosen victim, but the rhino twists his massive body with surprising agility. He turns his sharp horn toward the attacker's sensitive face. But this resilient fighter maintains his defensive position with focus. His eyes scan the area with an unyielding primal awareness. He launches a fearless. The large predators are forced to re-evaluate their hunting options. No simple meal is worth sustaining a broken, lethal injury. The risk of the fight now far outweighs the reward. Slowly, the magnificent lions begin to back away in defeat. They turn and retreat into the shimmering waves of heat. The white rhinoceros stands victorious in the wide open field. He shakes the thick dust from his grey skin thoroughly. Nature proves that survival is often decided by defensive power. Evolution can overcome the most formidable, coordinated hunting groups. The ancient titan claims his safety under the blazing sky. He resumes his slow journey in the harsh afternoon light. Every creature on this plain must fight for its place. The afternoon heat intensifies, pushing life to its absolute limits. The design of the wild rewards this sheer, protective grit. With his territory secured, the rhino walks away safely. The barren landscape grows quiet once more under the sun. But the relentless theatre of the savannah never truly sleeps. As the dust settles over the rhino's hard-won battlefield, the bright sun exposes another drama unfolding in the distance. Far across the shimmering plains, a different strategy takes form. Where one animal fights, another relies on incredible, blinding speed. A vast horizon opens up to reveal a giant bird. This magnificent creature must protect its legacy on bare ground. Exposed to the punishing elements, it guards a precious treasure. Its powerful legs are ready to outrun any incoming threat. The ultimate test of speed and maternal instinct begins now. A towering figure prepares to unleash the power of its stride. The infinite savannah stretches far into the blazing horizon. Under the fierce midday heat, a massive figure stands guard. The giant ostrich embraces the punishing heat without any shelter. Her vital mission lies buried in the shallow desert sand. A clutch of precious eggs lies completely exposed to danger. The harsh sun threatens to bake the fragile life inside. She uses her immense body to cast a protective shadow. On these open plains, vulnerability attracts many opportunistic eyes. A pack of hungry wild dogs appears in the distance. They navigate through the shimmering waves of hot desert air. Their sharp eyes quickly spot the solitary bird standing still. The impending threat advances steadily across the dry, cracked earth. An open nest cannot withstand a coordinated group attack today. Survival demands a brilliant, highly deceptive defensive strategy right now. The devoted mother steps away from her precious nest carefully. She deliberately draws the attention of the approaching predators away. Suddenly, she drops her wing and begins to limp awkwardly. She masterfully fakes a severe injury to entice the enemy. The wild dogs perceive an easy, highly vulnerable midday meal. They instantly change their direction to target the limping bird. The distance between the mother and her nest increases safely. Once the predators are lured far away, her posture changes. The fake weakness disappears instantly into the swirling hot dust. Creation has gifted this avian giant with unparalleled running power. Her long, heavily muscled legs prepare for an explosive sprint. She activates her incredible high-speed escape instinct with authority. Powerful two-toed feet propel her forward across the barren landscape. She reaches astonishing speeds within just a few powerful strides. A dramatic, high-stakes chase unfolds beneath the burning solar sky. The wild dogs pursue her with relentless, desperate pack coordination. Wind rushes past her face as she navigates the terrain. She uses her massive feathered wings to change direction sharply. The sudden maneuvers leave the predators struggling in the dust. Yet, the determined hunters refuse to abandon their prospective meal. They attempt to herd her toward an unforgiving rocky barrier. The open plain abruptly ends at a steep cliffside. She finds herself completely cornered with nowhere left to run. The relentless predators close in, sensing an imminent tactical victory. But a flightless bird is never truly helpless when trapped. Trapped against the rocks, her maternal instinct transforms into rage. She turns around abruptly to face her pursuers head-on. Her towering height intimidates the dogs as they hesitate slightly. She spreads her enormous wings to appear even more massive. A fierce, defensive hiss cuts through the heavy afternoon heat. Oppressive afternoon heat waves. The majestic ostrich stands tall and victorious against the sky. Her fierce defense has successfully preserved her future genetic legacy. She slowly walks back across the vast, sun-baked landscape. Her precious eggs remain safe and unharmed in the sand. She resumes her protective vigil under the blazing midday sun. Nature always rewards the brave who fight for their offspring. Nature always rewards the brave who fight for their offspring. This incredible speed and power ensures survival on the plain. The harsh environment tests every living soul without any mercy. Yet, the brilliant design of creation provides a perfect answer. The ground temporarily returns to a tense, quiet state below. The relentless theatre of life continues to challenge the land. While the ground species battle for their immediate earthly survival, a completely different power watches silently from the vast heavens. High above the dust, the ultimate vantage point belongs elsewhere. The blazing sun illuminates an entirely different domain of hunting. A supreme airborne predator rules the sky with absolute clarity. The focus now shifts upward to the master of flight. The focus rises far above the dusty desert floor. High in the cloudless sky, another master waits patiently. A majestic hawk circles within the intense, shimmering heat. The scorching sun becomes an advantage for this airborne hunter. Rising thermal currents carry her weightless body without any effort. From this height, the entire arid landscape lies fully exposed. Her incredible eyes filter through the blinding glare of noon. This phenomenal vision can spot movement from miles away clearly. Below, the savanna appears completely still to the human eye. But to the sky tyrant, every tiny detail is magnified. A small desert lizard stirs cautiously among some cracked rocks. It seeks a brief moment of warmth outside its burrow. The target is small, camouflage is excellent, and distance is vast. One wrong tilt of her wings could reveal her presence. The blazing light creates deceptive shadows across the dry terrain. She locks her intense gaze onto the unsuspecting reptile below. Nature has given her the ultimate perspective for absolute dominance. She shifts her feathers slightly to adjust her aerial position. The hot wind rushes silently past her sleek, aerodynamic body. She waits for the perfect second to launch her strike. The lizard moves slightly further away from its safe refuge. The brief window of survival opens for the winged predator. Instantly, the hawk folds her powerful wings tight against herself. She transforms into a lethal falling arrow of pure instinct. Gravity accelerates her descent through the heavy, hot air currents. The rush of wind is the only sound in the sky. She cuts through the atmosphere with terrifying, quiet precision now. The ground rushes toward her at an incredible, dangerous speed. The unsuspecting lizard remains completely unaware of the threat above. Just meters from the earth, the hawk opens her wings. She creates a sudden aerodynamic break against the rushing air. Her razor-sharp talons extend forward like steel hooks of death. The lizard suddenly senses the looming dark shadow from above. It panics and attempts to scramble back inside the rocks. But the calculation of the Skymaster is absolutely perfect. She adjusts her trajectory mid-flight within a fraction of a second. Sharp claws slam heavily onto the sun-baked, dusty ground below. The impact is explosive, kicking up a small dust cloud. The struggle ends before it can even truly begin today. Her grip is absolute, locking tightly around the small prey. She spreads her magnificent wings to claim her hunting territory. The master of the air stands victorious on a rock. She consumes her meal under the unforgiving, burning midday sun. Creation has validated her design as the supreme sky ruler. A sharp cry echoes across the vast empty plains below. The aerial hunt concludes, leaving the sky quiet once more. Under this relentless sun, 4 different stories have now finished. The dry savanna has tested the limits of every creature, from the silent grass to the infinite, open blue heavens. The tiger relied on patience within the burning, tall grass. The rhino used pure defensive power to survive against prides. The ostrich unlocked incredible speed to protect her future lineage. The hawk conquered the landscape with her all-seeing heavenly vision. None of these creatures share the same physical survival strategy. Yet, each one possesses a flawless, unique gift of adaptation. The brutal heat of day acts as a great crucible. It burns away weakness and exposes the perfection of instinct. In the grand design of creation, every piece fits perfectly. No weapon is superior when used in its proper domain. The savanna demands everything, but it gives back the future. Survival is a beautiful, violent masterpiece written in the dust. The cycle of life continues beneath the eternal solar glare. Every breath taken here is a monumental triumph over adversity. The landscape remains harsh, dry, and completely indifferent to suffering, but the brilliant spirit of the wild will never break. Every predator and prey plays a vital role in balance. The sun reaches its absolute peak over the burning horizon. Shadows have vanished completely, leaving only the raw truth remaining. To survive here is to achieve the ultimate natural victory. The land rests momentarily, locked in its timeless, fiery rhythm. Instinct has spoken, and the order of nature stands firm. The great design of life endures under the brightest light. Across the endless plains, the law of survival remains absolute. Every creature prepares for the next test of their power. The dry wilderness waits for the next heartbeat of life.